this is Pippin. He's pretty excited that I'm home. And he really wants to look out the window right now. And sent Mark my desk again. So anyway, hi, I'm Sarah. You probably already know that. This is my 4-week post-orchiectomy surgery update. Orchiectomy, if you haven't been watching these videos or you just don't know, is a surgical removal of testicles. So the specific kind of procedure I had is called a simple bilateral orchiectomy. Simple as distinct from radical, where they take more tissue, and that is something that is done for patients that have testicular cancer, and not as a transition service. And bilateral meaning both, and orchiectomy is removal of testicles. So I had that done. It was 4 weeks ago, Friday. So this is just over 4 weeks ago, because it's Monday now. And I I had been thinking, even just a few days ago, that it would probably be a week to maybe 2 weeks before I would start having an entire day where I just didn't have any pain at all. And instead that day was yesterday, which was very nice, totally unexpected. Also unexpected was that I had a little bit of a nerve pain again today. And so it's not like it's done, it's this sort of jagged little tail on the graph of my surgery-related pain. So I went and saw the urologist today, and he checked the whole area and said that it looked like it had healed up fantastically, and the stitches had all dissolved. The last of the scabby kind of parts fell off sometime in the last several days, like last Wednesday or something, I don't know, middle of last week. So what I have noticed is that even like when the doctor was just checking the area and he wasn't like handling me roughly or anything, he was just kind of prodding a little bit, that had a sort of delayed pain effect for me, where I had that sort of it sort of feels like, for those of you who have or have had testicles in the past as part of your body, there's that spike of pain if you get kicked or otherwise struck in your nuts, and then it kind of drops off really sharply, but then you have this kind of soreness, tenderness, tension, that kind of pain, like a duller kind of pain. So what I've been experiencing over the last few weeks is like a very long, drawn-out version of that. So like immediately after the surgery, it felt like just a couple seconds, not even that necessarily after I'd been kicked, right? And then as the weeks dragged on, it dipped pretty substantially, but it also was still very high. So then it felt more like 30 seconds after I had been kicked, except that was, 2 weeks on or something like that. Definitely still, it was very distracting. It was very difficult for me to be productive at all, and I had to choose on most days between whether I wanted to be distracted to the point of not being able to be very useful because of pain, or because I was so medicated that I just couldn't, focus very effectively. So that's largely gone away, and I expect that I'm going to be able to see. It's been difficult for me kind of emotionally, so I expect that without being in that position where I feel like I just can't focus and finish a sentence or anything like that, Pippin is playing and meowing. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. It was difficult. So I've lost my train of thought. People talk about, is there regret for trans people around these kinds of surgeries that help alleviate dysphoria and alleviate, like body self-image problems and things like that. Is there regret around getting these procedures? And immediately after, I was saying that I did regret it, but I wanted to qualify that because it wasn't that I regretted the procedure itself. I regretted the time at which I decided to do it, which was right after I had finished school, and was really supposed to be mostly looking for work or trying to do other things to just improve my condition, because right now I don't have any income at all. I've probably got about $30 to $50 left, like, in the world. So losing what I thought was going to be about a week based on, estimates from the same day unit when I went in to actually have the surgery done, thinking that I would be in bad enough pain that I wouldn't be able to really look for work or anything for about a week. I was like, okay, you know what, that'll be all right. I can sit there every day and remind myself that this is fine, and I needed to do this surgery at some point, and having a week to just willfully relax would be okay. But because of how touch sensitive I am, just in general, and therefore also pain sensitive, I ended up having it be more like 3 or 4 weeks. Just last week is when I was able to start doing anything productive or useful at all. So I definitely don't regret the procedure per se, but I regret having done it when I did it, and I wish I had just waited until I had a job, or waited until things were more stable with #girlfriend and I, because it was a really big strain on us. We actually kind of broke up for about a week in the middle of all that, which also didn't help my recovery at all. So it was just everything about it that I regretted, and everything about it that that had any kind of negative connotation to me was really just around the timing and not around the actual surgery itself. As far as how I feel physically in general, how it is getting dressed and everything now, when I first went in for the consult, the urologist that I saw then was telling me that she's like, this isn't going to really change much for you. You're going to feel the same physically, and I didn't think she was right then, and I know that she wasn't right now. Fitting into my clothes is much easier and more comfortable. There's definitely been times already since the surgery when I move or sit in a certain way, and I'm like, like before I would have had to readjust myself a bunch to get to where I'm comfortable and not sitting in a painful way on these tiny organs that are just not there anymore. So it feels nicer, it feels better, and I'm glad that I did it. And the regret that I have around the timing of it is not that substantial, because I haven't had a major body surgery like this in my life. I had my wisdom teeth out when I was 16 or 17. I don't really remember it, but beyond that, I had nothing to compare to. So now I have a newer information to look at for when I am heading into getting the vaginoplasty done, hopefully in the next year or 2 here, to be able to tell them that it seems like we can have an expectation that I'll heal at a good rate, because this is the 1-month follow-up for orchiectomy for the urologist to check me out and make sure everything's healing fine is the standard time. It's not anything unusual. And for them to say it's healed really well, it's like, okay, so physically, the tissues, knit themselves back together and all of that, and everything is fine in that regard. But I also understand now that whatever they expect for pain management, I need a program that's going to be 3 to 4 times longer because of my own sensitivities. So when I get closer to doing vaginoplasty, hopefully I'll be able to look back on this and refer them to my videos, refer them to my medical records, and show that I was prescribed additional oxycodone and all of that. And that should be it. So all in all, happy with the surgery, and now that I'm not either too muddled from pain meds or too distracted from actual pain, I'm starting to feel more positive than I have in the last couple of weeks about being able to do something and, find work, do something with my music. Um, I have a modeling opportunity that I'm looking into, and just staying busy and being involved and getting somewhere past just bare survival. Um, and that's it. So I hope this video was informative and helpful for you. And that's all. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. I guess I'll never see you, really, but you'll see me on the next one if you watch it.